Check, check. Checking the mic. Check, check. Okay, audio sounds fine. I'm just gonna go top up my coffee and use the washroom. And then we'll get started. Also, hello, Zwaylock. Thanks for dipping into a stream. Sparkster, if you're still there, hello. Okay, just one more moment. Thank you for your patience. Okay, time to party. Paint party, that is. Got some coffee. Hello, Johnny X87 and Artie Char. Those dang YouTube notifications. Okay. I was gonna say last stream, I know I burped at least once, and I feel like I was on hiatus for long enough. We gotta reset the burp record. So let me just update the counter here. So the record is gonna be 1. Because I only burped once last stream, and I think that was the first on-stream burp post-hiatus. And I've done 1 today. I think this might look a bit better if I format it like that. Sure, why not? We could go a little bit smaller though, I think. Let's size it down just a wee bit. And of course, now we just gotta adjust the position. No, that's not doing it. There we go. Very important, engaging stream material. That'll be good enough for now. Okay, so here's our Green Spartans, Fireteam Cerberus. These looks, I think this one, I just have to add a few black straps, perhaps on this one as well. This one's pretty much done being base coated, unless I want to add more of a third, like, dark iron, which I might do. But this is the one that still needs green base coating, so we're gonna start with the spiker. Hello, Akihiko-senpai. Another pansexual-themed Gundam Swylock. That's what I like to hear. Alright, and as always, we start off with a re-moistening of the wet palette. I'm a little worried that the gray mix on the palette got contaminated because I was kind of doing some initial blocking of the bases on Fireteam servers here, and it looked like the gray had an almost blue tint to it. But I'll worry about that more when I get to the, like, once the Spartans are done, and then I finish them with the bases. I did block in a bit of the colors because I put too much gray paint on the palette. I'm like, well, I want to use this up because, you know, if you leave a huge pile of paint on the palette overnight or something, it'll probably contaminate the other paints. Oh no, we're losing focus. Okay, palette is moistened. Nice, a pansexual pirate Gundam. Yeah, I understand that, Nathan. The beard era is over, no question about it. But I'm glad you thought it was luxurious and mega. There's other internet personalities out there with glorious beards to take up the mantle. Anyways, I was hoping the background light would look better there. Let's get some Gnarls green on the old palette here. The one thing I was good at as a masculine person was growing a beard. Never felt like I was good at many other typical masculine things. That I don't need to do those things anymore. Unless I want to. Alright. On to slapping some green on here. This I could paint maybe a dark iron color, but I might just also paint it green because it's not really too prominent. Oh, and as always, if there's anything wrong with the video or audio in the stream, just let me know and I will adjust accordingly. I feel like the camera should be bumped up just a little bit. Oh yeah, I mean, so I did a bit of painting off stream, not as much as I would like, but one thing I did off stream was add some teal tint to everyone's visors, and that was just by like watering down the turquoise a lot into like just a basic glaze, so that went over the silver visors. Should I see it a bit more prominently here. And I'm thinking I might still put like a really light black wash over there just to bring out the recesses a bit. And there'll still be that teal tint. Thanks, Zwaylock. Yeah, I mean, some people can grow beards, some people can't. Pros and cons to both. Was your daughter shocked, Nathan? You don't have to answer if you don't want to, I should specify. It's kind of hard to tell where the elbow pads end and begin with these ones, hence why I opted to paint them the main armor color and not the accent color like I did with the last squad. I did end up introducing a new color to the palette for these guys. Nothing too exciting, just this basic gray for the thigh pouches that some of them have. And I'll make sure those get a heavy black wash, which might just be 2 light black washes, so they kind of read as a black pouch. But we get that shading to bring out the details. Yeah, like I find this little patch of white Under Armour showing around the elbow here is like a little janky, but I think I'm gonna leave it for now. I think that's the right decision. Because like around the knee pits, there's like a few spots where it's like I could have picked out that white Under Armour color, but I think it'll be better if it's all the same block of green. Oh, 7 weeks old. Congrats 7 weeks ago. Yeah, but get that beardless Nathan exposure therapy done early. The Master Grade Unicorn full psycho frame. I haven't heard that's like the worst Master Grade, but I've heard it's a little flimsy. Hope it's not too bad for you. Yes, coming up soon here is going to be the stressful part where I'm outlining the green around the visor. And just kind of need to decide which areas are going to be turquoise for sure. Maybe... Okay. And these side bits almost... Sorry. These side bits almost look like they should get a silver. But it could also just get the secondary armor color. There might be a couple spots we need to pick out with the silver. It's hard to say. I am gonna start picking this part out with the green though. More relaxing than lo-fi. Also, hello, high grade RX 78 too. Alright, now the other side of the mask. Yeah, we're gonna paint this bit green. It's hard to see stuff with that spiker right in front of his face. Yeah, I think we're gonna pick out some of these details with a dark iron. Anyways, on to the other arm. I kind of like how this duder has asymmetrical shoulder pads. Oh, we got another person building a Master Grade, the Master Grade Curios. This seems like a fun one. A nice janky transformer. Not saying the Master Grade Curios is like specifically janky, I find transforming Gundams always pretty janky. You know, Gundams are good at being Gundams, they're not good at being Transformers. Transformers are good at being Transformers. Yeah, this shoulder pad's a little like... Where does it even start? I think we're gonna like just artificially paint it a bit larger so it can connect to the arm. We can always change our mind about that later if after the wash it doesn't look quite right. We're gonna have to be fairly careful applying this wash too, because we do need to preserve the Under Armour details, otherwise it's gonna be a pain to finish up after. Wait, I am anticipating a decent amount of cleanup though, which is fine. It's all part of the process. And the Master Grade Eclipse, that's a cool one too, also a janky transformer. I mean, I'd say transforming models only get really annoying if you paint them and also want to be able to still transform them. Fat Cat's God Gundam to be delivered to paint and build. What's Fat Cat's God Gundam? That's a vivid description, Nathan. Kate Moss transforming into a big-ass artillery piece like an airbrushed Galvatron on a bullet-riddled catwalk. Yeah, this one might have the most the most annoying to paint chest of them all because of the firing pose. But that's okay, it's a good pose. It's worth the struggle. I feel like that I should have kept that white. Is that it for the green on this one? Oh, we gotta just kind of didn't quite finish the back here. Alright, I don't think there was any green touch-up I needed to finish on this guy. Alright, there's a turquoise panel I missed. This one you can see the turquoise tint added to the visor a lot more. Okay, so these two I need to do the turquoise on, and then we're in the final stages of blocking in the base colors before the wash, which will mostly involve just adding some dark iron to a few places. There's a bit of green left there still, but we'll be able to use that in a little while. The palette should keep it usable. It's a third party. Yeah, I've seen some pretty impressive third party kits out there, that's for sure. I give the Gundam enjoyers what Bandai won't provide them. I like it best when the third parties make their own original designs, though. I understand why they gotta make legally distinct Gundams, though. That's what the market likes. Alright, we've added some scaly green to the palette. Let's just quickly tidy up. Yeah, I haven't named this one yet. I think we've got Hammer Guy and Hacker Man. And then the one with the spiker and whatever this one is, the one with the big bulky helmet. Okay, we just got this thigh pad here. Alright, and there's these bits of the shoulder as well that need turquoise. And Edda's Asgard. That name sounds kind of familiar. Also, hello Mag1. If you want to know why the beard is gone, read my post from May. YouTube community post, that is. Just scroll back and look for the one that's got a selfie of me without a beard. Alright, turquoise done on this one. Good halfway point, Zwaylock. The RG Akatsuki, that'd be cool. That's a good frame. Alright, I think I got both the thigh pads on this lad already. So looks like we're just doing shoulder pads. Alright, now this shoulder pad is just going to be a bit easier. Yeah, so far with all this, like the first squad of Spartans had, or like, so this squad of Spartans and the last squad of Spartans, it seems like they all have different chest and arm armor, but very similar leg armor. And that's the same case for the last squad of Spartans. So I wonder if like the third squad of Spartans I'm going to paint is going to be the same thing. They all have the same kind of leg, but it's still different than the other Spartans' legs. And then the shoulders and chest pieces are different. Seven Deadly Sins Sloth. Teddy bear with plasma cannons has some aura for sure. Alright, now I gotta figure out which parts of the helmet are getting turquoised. Or scaly greened, I should say. Definitely these straps that I, didn't put the green on. Which I'm gonna have to be careful about. I've been drinking a lot of coffee today, which is not advisable. But coffee is delicious, I just can't help myself. Oh, I forgot to put green on that spot earlier. We will fix that momentarily. Yeah, and there's some other spots we'll have to touch up with green anyways. Now this one doesn't have as much green on the shoulders as other ones, so I am tempted to paint these little side wings of the helmet the turquoise accent. Just to balance out the green a little bit more. Okay. Now let's just tidy up that green I was talking about. Infinity Nova Thunderbolt. Does it have Macross vibes, like it looks like it's a fighter jet that sprouts legs? Out of coffee, switching to water. Okay, I want to make this green band along the visor just a little thicker. I need to add, reinforce this border at the shoulder here with some more distinct green. Okay, and those side bits of the helmet we're gonna get dark ironed. Alright, before I do that, we're just gonna add a bit of black to the palette to paint some strappy straps. And we're gonna mix the black with the existing gray on the palette, just so we're not painting a pure black. It's like a very, very dark gray. Which is generally what you want to do. I'll try to remember to check that out later, Zwellick. The mixing brush. I opened the Patreon app on my phone. Okay, it was like, there's no chats. But now, there it is. Alright, well, I have it open on my phone later, so I'll check it out. Open on my phone for later, I'll say. Alright, we got our dark gray mixed. Thanks, that's a nice warm corduroy. You know, it's winter here, but I got the window cracked a bit for the fresh air. Okay, I think we just have... And this one, this doesn't even look like it needs the straps, to be honest. But like, I might as well. Because not every model even has straps to be painted like this. At least 2 of them do. And yes, I'm spilling over the edge a little bit there, but it's fine because the edge is going to be brought out by the wash anyways. Yes, I think this one just has the one pouch on the side. But this guy has, you can see, has a much more distinct strap that is asking to be painted. And I already put some silver on there, so maybe I can just paint around that, save myself some time later. Hopefully. I think I'm gonna need to bring it out more anyways. Especially after the wash. I think the straps on, or the ones on the front here are obscured enough. We don't need to add more color separation. And Hacker Man. Can add some to the middle there. I think that'll help block it out a bit better. I need to add some more green into the recessed bits of the chest there. Oh, I do need to paint some black in here. So it, I mean, this area is a little weird because, you know, it's supposed to be see-through, I assume. On the box art, they painted it black, and it's like that. I think that's probably the best you can do. Just so you can kind of tell where the fingers are a bit better. Yeah, that's part that really makes us feel that it's like a board game miniature. Really, I should have painted this part black first. Yeah, Nathan, but you know, the place I live in is cold, but it could be much colder. The weather here sometimes worth complaining about, but a lot of the time it's pretty mild, all things considered. One thing it is very dry, so wet palettes, very useful. And this guy, I don't think we got any strappies. And again, I put too much of this gray on the palette. So I'm just gonna lighten it up a bit by reactivating some more paint, and I'm just gonna add a few more layers to the base. Just to use up a bit of it. Oh, hello, Elminus Mecha 500. Welcome back. Oh, sorry, I just punched the mic. I'll use a slightly less nice brush for this, just because it holds more paint. Yeah, and all I'm doing here is just darkening up the front bit of the gradient. Saves us a bit of time later. Now I think all we're needing to do is switch to the dry palette to do some just a bit more dark iron metallics, and then we start washing. Ah yes, we've moved on to the classical part of the background music playlist. Let me know if you think the background music's too loud. I'm still kind of experimenting with the levels. Yeah, the gravity hammer is pretty badass. I'm excited to smash some fools in the multiplayer arena with it. Multiplayer arena isn't the right word. I think I'll just call it the battleground. Alright, time to switch to the dry palette for a moment. Looking nice and messy. Yeah, I think I'm just gonna use this mix straight up. The problem with these, like, bottles I use to mix the paint in is they get clogged really easily. Usually I grab a pin to fix that, but I only need a bit, so I think I'm just gonna deal right now. Hello, Country Fried Minis. Welcome. Thanks for the audio check. Okay, it was Spiker Man who needed some on the helmet. Add that last bit of color variation. We're going to add some to the spiker as well. Could add a bit to the chest too if I wanted. See how I feel after I finish the spiker. And we're not going to do too much. I think probably just this connector panel here. Yeah, it's a pretty subtle difference, but I think it'll do good. You can always bring it out more with some selective washes. Applied with precision. You know, I want to do one more panel here. And there's a couple kind of like, okay, those tabs are fine. No, we need to just imply a bit of a separate connector piece there. I think I'll leave the bottom as is. All right, and we got some tabs on the leg here to connect the thigh pouch. Bring those out a bit. All right, that one done. Onto shotgun. And this one, I don't like how the bright silver looks on the gun. So we're darkening that down. think we can leave that side bit with the bright silver though. Yeah, I got a bit of janky spillover. I think once the wash is on there, it'll look fine. This is like the least exciting gun out of this squad anyways. Wait, no, the least exciting gun is Hacker Man, who isn't even holding a gun, he's just holding like a scanner. I'm sorry, he's like the Tau marker drone of the force. I'm glad you're awake too, Country Fried Minis. And I'm glad the background music is being enjoyed by y'all. Okay, I think I kind of want to bring out this like scanner panel on the duder's arm with the dark iron. I gotta be careful not to spill over into the teal panel that I've already painted. Especially tricky around the edges. And I don't want the teal spilling over into this like bottom part here. So I just need to silverify that a bit, and it is a bit awkward because this is a darker silver than the original one applied. But I'm doing it anyways. And this one we got tabs on the thigh pouch as well. Alright. Hacker Man, do you even need any parts to be brought out with the dark iron? I don't think so. Yeah, we're good. But Hammerman, I think the hammer could definitely use something. Actually, maybe not, because I'm gonna paint this with some vibrant color to do like a glowing effect, just cuz. I think this is the third time I'm gonna be painting these like rings on the weapon, but I think those are gonna look way better with dark iron. So that's the last thing of dark iron we're gonna do, you know, before the old wash. Almost made it to 1 hour on the stream. Sorry, that was my water bottle clinking against the coffee mug. That was probably loud and jarring. Alright. Yeah, of course now it doesn't quite look dark enough. It's only like slightly darker than the other bit. I think I'm just gonna commit to doing this though. Yeah, I still think it looks better this way. Even if there's a bit less contrast. The important part of the hammer is the top anyways. Speaking of the top. The wash is going to do a lot of heavy lifting on the hammer, I think. But I'm also going to be doing some glaze glow effects that I'm excited about. You know, very predictable with the Mayhem style and all. Well, have we reached washing time? Yeah, it kind of does look like like some traffic sign or something. My coffee of choice today is black as the night on a moonless night. Unfortunately, I've run out of coffee though, but you know, I've been guzzling coffee all morning, so I should probably stop. True, I do like my glazing and my edge highlights. I tried the first batch of Spartans, I was like, I'm gonna speed paint these, and then my brain proved to me that I just can't speed paint, because I ended up edge highlighting the crap out of it. I don't know why I put away the dry palette, we're still using it. Although with I'm using the Null Oil bottle, so it kind of has a reservoir. There's Null Oil that's getting a little old and just getting more concentrated. You know, I get where you're coming from, Iron Elemental. Yeah. Trying to decide which is the most appropriate brush for washing here. Perhaps this old beaten up one, because I don't want to be I don't want to be applying too much wash at once. But you know, I don't want to use a nice brush because the wash gets particles all up in that ferrule. Alright, I'm just gonna like create a little crevasse for the Null Oil to sit in, so I am less likely to tip it over. Okay. Let's move that back a little bit though. Let's start at the top. Gotta try and do it section by section. And I think I am gonna wash the visor, but I just gotta make sure I wipe an appropriate amount away before it dries, because I do just want to bring out the recessed details a bit more. So we're trying just to selectively get the helmet here. Alright, I'm not super happy with the visor on that, but I think that's it's like there's still enough contrast, so I don't want to like go back to it with the brush and risk tearing up some of that thin layer of null oil that's now on there. So I think we're gonna say that's good on the helmet. Now let's go torso. Starting with the back because that's nice and easy, and it's got lots of edges that want to get that wash. And for like the bits that are next to the Under Armour, we want to like get enough wash on it so it like gets into the recess between the Under Armour and the green armor. And when I say Under Armour, I'm like imagining it as like, you know, that athletic brand Under Armour. That's just how I've been referring to it. I mean, I imagine it's pretty tough, like sci-fi military fabric, so it's probably got some protective properties. Gotta make sure I don't rest my finger on parts of the mini that have has wash drying on it, because I often brace my hand again, like I'm bracing my pinky against my thumb right now, but a lot of the time by habit that'll just like brace onto some part of the mini, which is usually fine when it's just like recently dried paint. Not with wash, though. Also, I hope the camera hasn't been getting out of focus too much. Try to find the right balance between the camera being close enough to the mini to give you all a good view, but not so close that it just has constant autofocus jitters. Also, I will be a bit slow keeping up with the chat in this moment, as this is a high concentration level stage of the painting, and I gotta work fairly fast because it's the wash. I got too much washing to concentrate on to elaborate further. And yes, this is a pretty thick and dirty wash. Maybe that thick isn't the right word. Stainy? Potent? So, hence why, so this is like not great for speed painting, but for the highlighting I'm gonna do after this, this makes the shadows like nice and contrasty. And if I was painting a bit more efficiently, I would have like not really, or I wouldn't have kind of like taken the white Under Armour to a finished stage first and then done the armor, but that's just kind of how things went with this project as I was figuring out the colors, because like the last squad I was kind of deciding on the color scheme as I went. This Halo Flashpoint painting project is a real frack around and find out. Any Battlestar Galactica fans? Alright, and the spiker can get a nice thick wash. Bring out all those recess details. And with the blades here, I'm slopping some on right now, but I do gotta mop a lot of it away right away. I just want the recesses around the edges. I know I want that, but this little bit in the middle, I don't want that much. So it's a bit of a reductive painting here, I suppose. I think it's okay to have a bit of stain on the blade. Yeah, this side here, it's getting a little not quite ideal. I think we'll just fix that up with some edge highlighting later. Which, with those sharp knives, gun blades, whatever you want to call them, I think they deserve some edge highlighting later regardless. Okay. Nope, missed just a couple bits in there. And under there. Okay, now take a quick break and rinse off the brush. Thank you for the $2 super chat, Country Fried Minis. Nuln oil is right. I didn't hear the alert go off. Let me press this button. Maybe it'll happen again. Nice as Waylock. You enjoy that lunch. I'm starting to feel some coffee jitters too. Let's just raise the camera up a bit then. Oh dear, it seems like the Streamlab alerts may be borked. Oh, I heard the sound effect. Okay, at least we're getting the sound effect, we're just not getting the animation. Alright, time for the leggies. Hopefully by sometime before the next stream after this, I remember to check and see if there's anything I can do to fix the animation. When I was rebuilding the stream setup, I did the usual test notifications and it seemed like it was working. So not sure why it's not working now. At least the most important part, the widget that just displays the latest super chat, is working. I can tell that for sure. That was a bit too much wash there. Bit too much wash on the dangus. Couldn't help myself there. A bit too much wash on here, which is no big deal, just means I'll have to bring it back up with the highlights appropriately. Am I for the bees or for the lobsters? That's a weird question that I don't know how to answer. Oh, nice Fangire Saga. Good old red versus blue. I mean, in the Recon edition and Spartan edition, a lot of the Spartans just come colored red-blue, so there you go. If you're going ultimate, like, easy mode, you could just, like, bring out some details with the silver, slop a black wash on, and call them done. Painting them on primed mini would be a little annoying. Yeah, that's fair. Country Fried Minis. I should just try that. I mean, but when I was streaming before, I was just in the habit of, like, the pre-stream check was to, like, go onto the Streamlabs website and, like, do the test notification. And it always felt like a little redundant. But perhaps now I've been proven wrong and it's just needs to be reincorporated back into the workflow. Oh no, another 30-second task. How burdensome. Oh, I didn't do the feet on the other side. Can't just neglect those feet. Oh, I see what you mean, Fangire Saga. Yeah, I only ever watched a few episodes of Red vs. Blue back in the day. I was more of a Arby and the Chief fan, you know? Anyone here watch that on the YouTube in like 2007? Before they even joined Machinima? That was like around peak Halo 3 hype times. Alright, I think wash is done on this one for now. I think I'm gonna... I mean, I do want to power through the rest of the 3 washing them, but that one took a hot minute to wash, and I kind of need to take a bathroom break, but I think I could do one more before I do the bathroom break. Yeah, Red vs. Blue had a pretty solid run. Okay, well, I'm gonna just take the bathroom break now because I finished my water. So I'll be back in like 5 minutes, and probably I was gonna brush my teeth because of all that coffee I drank. BRB. Okay, I'm back. Well, looks like you were fairly active in the chat while I was gone. Ah, Zwaylock made mac and cheese. Congrats. Happy for you. Deeper lore that's not work appropriate. Oh, it seems like you're talking about red versus blue there. Don't worry, Zwaylock, I've had a lot of water. Lots of coffee, but I remember to drink water too. Thanks, Nathan. Yeah, I mean, my previous career was a photographer. For a while, the mini painting kind of took a back seat. Because I was more, photography was like the main hobby, and then also work for a while. Collected a lot of gear, but I mean, don't need to have fancy gear to take good photos. A lot of it has to do with like lighting and positioning. I don't know why you said never there, Zwaylock. That's like, yeah, I know that content's been like sparse these days. Mostly that's just because I have essentially a full-time job now that I gotta do to pay for the old living expenses. We all know YouTube doesn't cover those. But I don't want to give up on being on my like internet persona sharing of the painting business. Streams is just all I can manage right now. Yeah, Country Fair Minis I had thought of. I mean, I've thought of various guides before, whether it's like painting or hobby related, or yeah, photography one. The thought probably crossed my mind once or twice. But yeah, it's mostly just like a time and bandwidth issue. One thing advice I can give when it comes to taking photos of minis is like every mini has like the ideal photo for it to be, or the ideal angle for it to be photographed at. And so oftentimes you gotta like take a few photos at different angles. And by angles I don't mean like moving the camera around per se, more like just rotating the mini to find the golden angle. But then also there is like how high or low the camera is. A general rule of thumb, it's like you want it so you see like right now the plane of the base is flat. You don't want to go straight like that. You kind of want a bit of a tilt up so you can see the base. For groups of minis, sometimes you want a bit more. Yeah, it's hard. Like a guide is definitely like, there's a lot of thoughts and words I could put into a guide. It'd take a lot of work though. A lot of work that I don't have time for. But I'm glad you think that it's something cool I can do. Or interesting, I should say. Feels a little too loud. And this one we're opting to do the legs first, and we'll do the helmet last. I didn't plan for that, it just kind of happened that way. Yeah, on these wider panels of the thighs, it's hard not to like wash them the way I'm washing them and have them not get a little streaky on the top panel. But that's fine because that's gonna get highlights reapplied anyways. And again, this is like a fairly high concentration part of the painting, mostly because I gotta work fast because it's wash. So I'll catch up with the chat when I have a moment. On to the other leggy. We'll start at the calf this time. I think after the washing stage, and I'm on the fence about this, I think after the washing stage, the next logical step will be to like truly finish up the white under armor, just because so much of it is recessed. I should do that first, because if I did that green edge highlighting before then I'd possibly have to go back and fix a bunch of it after painting the recessed areas. But I'll make that call. I've got a bit more washing to do to think about that before I make the final decision on what I'm gonna do there. These chest pouches can use a lot of the black wash. And we are going to do the helmet last. It's a little tricky between the shoulder and biceps that need the wash, but then a few bits around the armpit that shouldn't get it. I think we're definitely going to make it past 2 hours on this stream today. Okay, that arm's done. Alright, time to slop a bunch on the gun. Because the gun's like that. Yeah, for this gun, I think we'll need to put in a bit of extra elbow grease to... By elbow grease, it just mean more Nuln Oil and just be a bit more selective with it to darken down select areas of it. And I do gotta be careful here, make sure I don't get wash onto the teal panel. Like maybe a bit along the edge is okay, but we don't want to stain the teal. Not there anyways. We might do a bit on the visor. Maybe not. I gotta do a bit of that iron part underneath the visor, so that's gonna be a little stressful. Okay, I think we just have the helmet left now. And this shoe looks like it could use just a little bit more though. Careful on this border part here. Gonna have to be extra careful when I'm edge highlighting it as well. You know, I'm gonna add a bit of Nuln Oil to the teal to just tie it in a bit, but I'm immediately gonna just dry off the brush and be a little reductive, if you know what I mean. And I think that's an appropriate level of stain. That's another one washed. Time for a quick rinse off the brush and catch up with chat break. More Gundam when? Whenever I feel like doing Gundam. Don't request too many things or else the ODD will kick in. Yeah, photogrammetry guide. I haven't ever tried photogrammetry before, and one day when I want to get around to it, I will rewatch your photogrammetry video, Country Fried Minis, that you did a while ago. Also, people watching this stream should subscribe to Country Fried Minis if you haven't already. Yes, I will ignore you harder. I got important painting to do. Well, Zwilak, thanks for continuing to enjoy my Gundam videos. I mean, I get what you're saying, you Twitter, Zwilak, but at least they're referring to it as Twitter and not X. Glad you enjoy the process, Akihiko-senpai. What I will say is, I have at least one more Millennial model Mayhem proper video in me that I need to get on my system eventually, which I'll make no time commitments to. And I know it'll be painting a Gundam, because I can't just have the last video on the channel be me when I was still referring to myself as my dead name and like having a beard. I do want a proper update eventually other than the one post. But you know, trying to do the full-time YouTuber life fracked me up pretty good. So I'm really not putting too much pressure on myself in terms of like getting back to making videos. Streams are a lot different. Yeah, I'm getting the no onto the teal screen in this case. So I'm just gonna dab a bit of it up. And it's a pretty tiny screen, so I think that's about looking right. But yeah, I do have one more Gunpla video in me for this channel specifically. No commitment to timeline on that. I skipped my local anime con last year just because I've been going every year for like a long time. I just wanted to step away for 1 year, but I got my passes for this year. And you know, that's the anime convention where I've won the small Gunpla category, like small size category, 2 years in a row. So I do want to, or if I am going again this year, I am still thinking about whether I want to enter a piece. I do want to get all the Halo Flashpoint stuff painted and at least finish a proper 2,000 point list for my 100 Kingdoms army first. I mean, and if I go with how the painting consistency has been for the past few weeks, you know, the couple weeks leading up to before I returned to streaming up till now, if I keep the pace up, I should like get that stuff painted in time for painting something for the anime convention. But again, I'm not going to put too much pressure on myself. So very non-committal to that idea. I'm not getting out of the Gunpla hobby or anything though. In terms of gaming piece purposes, I kind of like have as much Gunpla as I need for the time being. And have as much Gunpla that are like mounted on circle bases and ready to throw down. I've been, you know, working full-time at, or like essentially full-time at the local game store, so. Well, and I've always been real gamer-pilled. It's like all the stuff that's like getting me excited enough to actually be motivated to paint is stuff related to tabletop games like Conquest minis and these Halo Flashpoint minis. In case you didn't know, I did, it's a open to the public Patreon post I made probably in like early September with a free PDF of the custom Gamma Wolf scenario I made that I ran an event for at a local gaming convention. So that's a Gundam related thing I did. It's just not painting. I mean, it is called the dead name after all, Zwalok. I don't like hate it or anything. I was just like moving on from it. But you know, Waffle House jokes are funny either way. Yeah. Yeah, I've had a few projects go to the editing station and die. Country fried minis. I mean, yeah, like maintaining and doing an entertaining stream is like, yeah, a lot different than making entertaining video. It's like similar in the sense of like the platforms you deliver it on and like parts of the medium, but yeah, way different. Requires different skills and talents. You do want the wash fairly thick in the handle here to just add that black effect. Okay, I think I got that arm done. Yeah, you think the washing process would be faster, but the way I'm using it, it's mostly just because of the brighter Under Armour color that I wanted to have like as a gimmick on this squad. That's what's mostly making the washing take longer. I think it'll be worth it though. Alright, the top half of this one's done. Oh, I haven't done the head though. Spoke too soon. Probably just save the head for last on this one. And on to the ridged thighs. Focus, camera. Fuji-san. It's a Fuji film, so sometimes I call it Fuji-san. I like the knee pads on this one. It feels like they got just the right amount of edge. Okay, just one leg and the helmet now. And then only one Spartan left to wash after this. I feel like by the time that one's done, we'll be at a good natural stopping point for the stream. Because we're at 1 hour 46 minutes right now. And I was kind of planning for the usual 2-hour stream. I mean, I say usual, I think out of my return to streaming, only one of them's gotten to 2 hours, but I think when I was streaming before, the general goal was like usually 2 hours. Seems like a good number to stick to. Yeah, these metallic details on the thigh sensor, or thigh computer tablet. Take the wash well. Okay, just the helmet now. Hello, 80, welcome. Fangar's out here gonna paint a horned devil and the Death Leaper. Nice, that sounds proper freaky. Okay, I am again gonna stain the visor. And just plan to mop it up quickly, just to get a bit of recess shading in there. Oh, I see part of the collar that I neglected to paint now. Whoopsie. It's no big deal. Yeah, it's on the back here. Well, I'm just gonna apply some wash to it now. We'll deal with it later. Oh, and we missed the booty over here. Booty is in boot, not ass. I definitely painted the ass plate on this guy. By painted, I mean wash. Alright, this one is washed. And last, we're saving the best for last, we got Hammerman. Saturday, late morning must be a good time to stream. I think we've had a lot more concurrent viewers than usual. Just a bit of a stretch break. Ugh. Yeah, I think we'll need to end the stream after I get this one washed. Wrist is feeling it a little bit. Yeah, when this bottle of Millennial oil runs out, I don't know if I'll replace it with another bottle of Millennial oil. I know Millennial oil is pretty good, but I feel like there's an alternative dropper bottle with a more reasonable price in the market. Alright, we gotta slop plenty of sauce on this one. On this hammer, I mean. And the whole blade at the back there is gonna get painted with some vibrant color later, so letting the spillover just dry all ugly is fine. Because it's gonna get painted over completely towards the end when we're adding that magnificent glow. And yeah, I'm not painting any of the Halo Flashpoint stuff to be like game accurate, by the way. Like I said earlier, it's a frack around and find out painting project, kind of. Felt appropriate for my return to like get back in the swing of things. Get back in the swing of painting Mayhem style. Yeah, even, I mean, the hammers obviously makes this one the coolest of this squad, but I do like the shoulder pads on this one a lot. I don't know if it has the coolest helmet out of all of them, but it's not bad. I almost like the hammer. I think I do like the gravity hammer more than the energy sword. As iconic as the energy sword is, something about a big two-handed hammer is just cool. Maybe I'm just being a contrarian. Nah, I think I just like two-handed hammers. I don't think I want to leave the head to the end for this one, though. Let me just paint this dangus here. Got a bit of spillover into the white Under Armour, unfortunately. It's pretty satisfying, Akihiko Senpai, to give him the old bonk. You know, bonk in the Western sense, not the British sense, 80. I feel like you'll call me out on that. Gotta sponge up a bit. Too much pooling in the recesses there. But we don't want to sponge up all of it. Alright, let's finish the other arm. with another very interesting looking shoulder pad. Yeah, I think in terms of cleaning up the Under Armour, all I need to do is just take the gray and like tidy up the spots with actual like mistakes spilled onto them. And then just add another layer or two of the kind of gray wash that is the contrast paint Apothecary White. And then I think we just move on to the final edge highlighting of the armor. The green and turquoise, that is. Yeah, I have one of the Dungeons and Lasers dragons that I bought to use as a conquest proxy. I can't remember what it was called. Something the Destroyer. I kind of wish I had waited for the Xenomorph dragon to come out though and bought that one. Well, I mean, maybe I'll wait for the store to get it in stock. I'll buy it anyways. But yeah, the Dungeons and Lasers kits are nice. You know, they're made by Archon Studios, so they can make a good plastic model on sprue, hence why lots of other companies hire them to do it. So, and that's one thing that's given me confidence about the upcoming StarCraft minis game. Alright, one leggy down. Oh, nice, you got the Xenodragon. It's true, Country Fried Minis. That's why it's like, well, they only... I own the bottle of a contrast medium, and then I own a bottle of Apothecary White, and those are the only contrast paints I actually have. Yeah, Apothecary White, I'd say, is in, like, secret sauce territory. Alright. I believe wash is done on this one, and we are just past 2 hours. Ah, there's like a little patch there. Alright. If anyone has any last minute questions or comments, now's the time to get them in. I have some straight up Xenomorph minis that I got with the Alien vs. Predator miniatures games by Protos Games in like 2015. Protos Games doesn't exist anymore. The minis are alright. Alright. I'll probably do some more painting this afternoon off stream because these Spartans ain't gonna finish themselves. But that's it for this stream. I think tentatively I'll say the next stream will be on Monday. Especially going into the holiday shopping season. I don't think a stream schedule is gonna be a thing, but at the very least I think I can manage 2 streams a week. Ideally it's like one late morning one and one evening one. You're very welcome, Akihiko Senpai. Thank you for your continued attendance. I appreciate it. Thank you for watching, Shia LaBeouf 868. Sorry you just missed the end of this stream, but there'll be another one. Okay, well, I'm going to head out now. I hope everyone else has a great rest of your Saturday. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you next time.